Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to PT Exam Prep's Premium Access Video Course webinar. My goal today is to introduce you to our new video course and let you know the main differences between our live teacher course and the premium video course. So first, let me introduce myself. So who am I? I am Caitlin Proctor. I am the founder of PT Exam Prep, and I've completed my schooling in Canada and practice as a registered physiotherapist in Canada. My passion is helping students prepare and pass the National Competency Exam. So that's why I'm here with you today, is to kind of talk to you about the difference between the two courses. So to give you a bit of background, we started creating this course 1 year ago. We spent time learning what students wanted in this course and feel confident we are providing you with the most comprehensive course in Canada. We have a strong reputation for having the highest pass rate and feel that this course will only raise that pass rate. So if you would like to follow along, you can go onto the website and go to Courses, Written PCE, and Written Course Price Plans, as you can see on the screen here. Otherwise, you can just look at the presentation and we'll go through everything step by step. So the Premium Access Video Course, what is it? This is a self-paced online course that includes all the materials and more that are included in our live virtual teacher course. You have 6 months to complete the course, which is more than enough time. So what we're going to do today is we're going to compare the options. I will start off by saying that we will not be going through the basic video course, as the only materials you receive in this course are the manual and the recorded sessions. This product, the basic video course, is really only recommended to Canadian graduates, so meaning that you've completed your undergraduate and master's in Canada. Okay, or students who purely just want the materials. So say that you are living in a different country and you don't know if you even want to do the exam, but you want to start looking a little bit more into what it would involve, then the basic video course is a good option for you because it's going to give you an introduction to what you need to know. Okay. We highly suggest taking the premium video course or live virtual course for anyone who is looking to actually take the exam 100%. You need a comprehensive study experience, and you'll get that with those two products. You won't get that with the basic course. Okay, so if you can see my screen here, you can see that the dots indicate what's included in each of the 3 course options. The manual is one thing that is included in all options. You can also see the video recordings are included in all options, but we're going to go through everything. So the manual, this is the Bible for Canadian students looking to prepare for the exam. So meaning that you are looking to prepare for the Canadian exam. You have to have done your schooling here, but if you are looking for the Canadian Bible for passing this exam, this is it. We cover all the materials outlined in the Alliance's blueprint. We have taken the Alliance's recommended textbook list and consolidated into over 300 pages. They're pretty much golden nuggets of information. So I have some screenshots here of the manual. So you can take a look. We have the spondylosis, spondylolysis, and spondylolisthesis, and we compare, contrast them, go over the presentation, and talk about the treatment for them. Okay. Next, we have one that talks about myositis ossificans. So you can see a little bit about what it is, what the difference is, and again, a little bit of the presentation in the body. Right. I'm going to show you another little snippet here of the course manual. This can just show you, we want to teach you a different way to approach the material. So we want you to compare and contrast similar pathologies. So for example, I've put one up here like the tarsal tunnel syndrome or plantar fasciitis. Okay. Now again, this is just a little snippet of what's in the manual. The manual is over 300 pages. We encourage students to use this manual as both a study guide and a study scheduler. So you might be wondering, what do I mean by study scheduler? To use the manual as a study scheduler, you simply need to break down the amount of days you plan to study and divide it by the pages in the manual. So on average, we say plan to study about 5 to 10 pages of the manual each day. The manual is only one part of the process of learning the material, but it is an important part, so make sure that you're thorough when going through the manual. Okay. People ask us about other textbooks that you may need, and we give you a recommended list of textbooks. However, we do encourage students to use this manual as your guide. If you come to a section that you're maybe unsure of, so say you're reading this and you go, tarsal tunnel, okay, I get cause and pain, and I understand those, but maybe I need to have a little bit more of an understanding of that. That's when you would go to McGee or your other resources to go and look that information up more. Okay, we obviously can't fit everything into the manual, but we can give you a very good outline of what you need to know, and you'll need to be an adult critical learner and say to yourself, do you understand enough to move on to the next subject? Okay, so moving on. The next is the recorded video sessions. So again, these are available in each of the course offerings. In the Premium Access course, you have 6 months of unlimited access to these videos. You can start, stop, and re-watch the videos to ensure you have a thorough understanding of the materials. During your sessions, you will learn tips and tricks to pass the exam, as well as have your teacher ask you self-assessment questions. Okay. Now, if you're taking the live virtual course, you will only get access to these videos for 2 weeks after the completion of that course. Okay, so meaning in the live teacher course, you must attend your scheduled sessions. If you miss a session, you will miss the content and you don't have those recordings. It also isn't self-paced, so it's at the pace of you and the other 2 students in the course. So you're moving along quickly and you can't pause and re-watch. Okay, so this is an opportunity for students to have these sessions recorded. Again, in the live course, you will get to access this for 2 weeks afterwards, but that's more of a perk rather than the way that we actually want students to learn in the video course that you can pause, start, and stop. Okay. So both are great options. You just need to determine what style of learner you are. We'll talk a little bit more about which course is right for you at the end. Righty. Now, if we go to the live video sessions here, I'll just do another little recap. So in the recorded sessions, the Premium Access course, you get 6 months unlimited access. You're able to start and stop and rewatch. There are self-assessment questions throughout the video that the teacher will ask you. In the live virtual course, they're live sessions. You do have access 2 weeks after your sessions, 2 weeks after your course completes to watch the videos in the course, but the purpose of this is more interactive sessions. We'll ask you questions and answers, and it's your chance to ask your questions to your tutor. Okay. One of the questions that just got asked are there only 6 video sessions? That's a great question. We can go through the format a little bit, but we have 6 content sessions, and these are all videos that are over 3 hours long. So yes, there are 6 content sessions, but then you also get video reviews of your mock exams as well. So as far as the video content goes, you have over 20 hours worth of video. I think it's actually 22 hours. Some videos are quite a bit longer. For example, neuro is a little bit of a longer session. But yes, there's a lot of video sessions to watch. Okay, so moving on, we're going to talk about the session workbooks. So again, we're not just teaching you one way to learn. We're not just saying watch a video and you're done. We're not just saying use the course manual and you're done. We're giving you multiple modes of learning the material. So we make sure that we capture each type of learner, and we try to show you the material in different ways to make sure you have a very comprehensive understanding of the material. So session workbooks. These are amazing. Each session comes with 40 pages of questions and detailed answers. These workbooks give you one more way to assess your knowledge level. Okay, here are some examples. Now, this is one of the questions in the first workbook, and it goes over red flag questions. Okay, so it's saying, state whether each of the following are red flags of back pain by indicating true or false. So not only are we giving you the questions, we also give you the answer as well as why it is the answer, okay? So for example, the first one, presentation age younger than 40 or onset older than 55. It's false. It should be presentation age younger than 20 and or onset older than 55, okay? So we're gonna make sure that you know the nitty-gritty details to pass the exam in these course workbooks. All right, one more. We're gonna go over some ankle stability questions. So you can see here we're asking, what are the lateral ankle ligament? What does it consist of? We ask a little bit about the ATFL blends with the ankle capsule from anterior inferior margin of the fibula to, and you should be able to answer these. Again, we have everything in there for you afterwards to assess how you're doing. Okay, so one of the big things that we do stress in both courses is that you are an adult learner. You do your best to fill this out. You do your best to make sure that you understand when you're going through the answers. Okay, you shouldn't simply just look at the answers and say, okay, I get it. You want to make sure that you're saying, okay, I understand why this is the correct or incorrect answer. Moving on, anatomy workbook, okay? Now, we expect students to have a strong understanding of basic anatomy before engaging in their sessions for both the video and live teacher course. I stress, anatomy is a fundamental portion to understanding higher level concepts. In our video course and in our live course, we do not spend time going over basic anatomy. We expect you to know this before joining the course. Okay? Our time with you is valuable. We want to make sure that we're teaching you more advanced information than just that basic anatomy. So what we've given you is we've given you a workbook to assess your level of anatomy knowledge. Okay. If you find this workbook to be challenging or you do not know the answers, this is your kind of red flag. This is your self-assessment tool, so you know that you need to know more anatomy. Okay. So here's again some screenshots from our anatomy book. So for example, do you know which nerve would cause the following pathologies? This should be easy for you to answer. The anatomy booklet comes with both questions and answers, so you don't need to worry about going and looking up this stuff on your own. However, if say you're doing this question and you think to yourself, you know what, I'm kind of guessing, I don't really have a thorough understanding, even though I got the question right, that's when you would go and learn further. Okay, let's try another one. Are you able to match the nerve to the orthopedic injury with the letter? Again, if this isn't easy for you, you know you need to spend more time on anatomy. During the sessions, we will only be building on basic anatomy. We will not be spending time teaching you this. Okay. Next, office hours. So this is the most important piece of the video course. Online office hours. Okay. Each week you will have the opportunity to meet online with your teacher. Here, you can ask your questions and listen to questions that other students may have. The days and times of these sessions change each week to make sure that we are able to accommodate as many students' schedules as possible. Okay. This will also be a chance for you to meet with other students who are preparing for the exam. Now, these online classroom sessions are done in GoToTraining, which for those of you who are attending this webinar live, this is GoToTraining. There's a chat box, we can talk. I'm obviously just doing all the talking right now as I'm explaining things to you, but it is a live virtual classroom where you would meet with your teacher once a week, okay? Now, this is only offered in the video course. It is not offered in the live teacher course. Now, I'm going to go over it one more time. So each week, you'll have the opportunity to meet with a tutor, your teacher, and ask your questions. The sessions vary by day and time of the week. You can listen to other students. And in this virtual classroom, you will have a live teacher to meet. You can ask all your questions and you will get feedback right away. You'll meet with other students preparing for the exam. And the big one here, and I've kind of already wrote this, is that you can listen to those other students' questions. Sometimes when you're listening to something that a student's asking and you think, oh, I didn't even think to ask that, that's a great way of learning. Okay, next, 2 vignette style mock exam questions, okay, and 2 video reviews. Now this, of course, comes with both of the courses, you can see there. Now, what does that look like? So the mock exams are vignette style exams, meaning that you get a paragraph and then you have to answer questions based off that paragraph. Now, there's not a lot of questions like this out there, so it's really important that when you're practicing for the Canadian exam, you use this style of questions. I know that we have students who join us from all around the world, and vignette style questions are not commonly tested. In fact, even in Canadian schools, we don't often use vignette style questions to assess your knowledge level. So we want to make sure that you are using vignette style mock exams when you're studying. Okay, so it's also a self-assessment tool. So the way that we use our mock exams as a self-assessment tool is that historically we find that students who score more than 75% on our mock exams go on to pass the national exam. So with that in mind, we want you to be using these exams to say, okay, am I ready? And that's a really hard question to answer for some students. You know, is it your last attempt? Is it your second attempt? Have you put in enough work? So these questions that we have in our 2 courses are different than the 200 question mock exam that is available for purchase online. So if you're someone who's sitting here listening right now thinking, you know, I think I'm ready to do the exam, try our 200 question mock exam. If you are scoring over 75%, we agree, you probably are ready. If you're scoring under that, then that's when you're going to want to think about taking some sort of course. Okay? So next, in the mock exam review, we have a video recording of all questions and answers. Okay, you will learn how to approach vignette style questions. Now you can watch and rewatch this video as many times as you like. So say, you know, question 13, you really didn't understand, you can go through this video and watch it several times to make sure that it makes sense to you before moving on. And again, both of these are available in both courses. Okay, here's one of the main differences between the live course and the video course. So you will get a 1-hour live review of each mock exam in the live course. This is when your teacher will review how your group performed. Your group performed. Remember, the ratio is 3 students to 1 teacher in our virtual teacher course. So you'll be getting kind of that individual feedback of how you did. Now, in both, so you don't get this one-on-one feedback, but you can always ask your questions during the live office hours in the video course. With both of them, there is no private review though. So if you are wanting to do a private review, you can take that extra 200 question exam on our website and have the 2-hour private review with a teacher. All right. So moving on, now we have our session quizzes. This option is available only in the video course. We do have it marked as well in the live teacher course, purely because you get 2-week access after your course is finished. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but it is the main or one of the main components to the video course. So in each session, you have 5 vignette style mock exam questions with feedback for you to complete. You should be scoring 100% on these exams before moving on to the next session. You can retake this exam as many times as you like. And again, we want you to make sure you're getting 100% to ensure that you understand that content area before moving on. All righty. Here is an example of one of our vignette style quizzes. So you can see there's a vignette question, there's a follow-up question, and then you have your 4 answers, okay? And again, there's feedback as to why the questions are right and wrong. Last is the final 200 question mock exam. This is also available in both courses. This is your chance to retake the mock exams that you have previously tried in your course. Again, you should be aiming to score at least 75% or higher to feel confident going into your exam. This brings us to the last difference between the video and live teacher course. In the live teacher course, you will be able to assess or access your teacher via email. You can expect a response within 48 and I say to 72 hours. Some students love this access to their teacher, while others prefer the live aspect of the office hours. Okay, so let's review this option again, or all the options again. So in the Premium Access video course, your sessions are recorded. You can watch them as many times as you would like. In the live teacher virtual course, these are live sessions. You will only be able to go through them once. You cannot miss a session and watch it. That is gone if you do not attend a session. Now, the caveat here is after your sessions are finished, after your 8-week course is done in the live virtual course, we do give you access to the premium video course for 14 days. Okay. Now this is just so you can get some of the extra materials that are available to you in the premium access course. Next is access to teachers, how that differs. In the video course, you have weekly office hours where you can go and ask your questions, versus in the live virtual teacher course, you have unlimited email access to your teacher, as well as your weekly sessions you can ask your questions in. Now for mock exams, you get a mock exam and video review in both sessions, but in the live virtual session, you get 2 reviews with your teacher and all your other classmates, okay? Now remember, I've just given you a lot of information. Each course comes with detailed instructions of how you can get started, so you make sure that you're following a good course schedule to ensure you're going to pass the exam. So which course should you pick? All right, now these are obviously some general indications, but I think this is helpful for anyone who doesn't know which one's better for them. Okay, now we'll start off with the cost. The cost of the Premium Access video course is $1,499 versus a live virtual course is $2,000. So money-wise, if that is an issue, definitely the Premium Access video course is a cheaper alternative for you. Okay. Now, money aside, the Premium Access video course is good if you're not sure where to start or where you're going wrong. So say you just are like, you know what, I really don't know how to even begin studying. This is a good course because it's self-paced, you have time. If your exam is anywhere from 3 to 6 months ahead, it gives you time to go through this material. If you're motivated to pass the exam, this is also a good option. Now, this is a tricky one. Some students, regardless of how much money they have spent, coming to Canada, all the risks that they've taken, bringing their family here, they still aren't putting in the necessary time it takes to study. We suggest that on average, it takes about 5 to 6 hours of studying for anywhere from 3 to 6 months. That's a lot. If you are motivated to do this, then the video course is a great option for you because it's self-paced and you can push yourself to make sure you're completing things and you can rewatch it as many times as you like. Okay, versus if you need that constant supervision and you need someone to push you along and to kind of scare you into thinking you're not ready or maybe let you know that you are ready, the live virtual teacher course is the better option for you. Now, if you're someone who's preparing far in advance for your exam, so say you're just going through the credentialing process, you don't know when you're going to take the exam, but you just want to start slowly learning the material, the video access course is a really good option for you as well. Okay. If you're someone who needs to review the materials multiple times to really grasp that subject matter, you're probably someone who does better with the video course as well. In the video course, again, you can stop, start, replay. You have all the access to your information there. Versus in the live course, you have to be prepared on time. You need to be engaged and active in that session. And once that session is finished, that content material is done. Okay, so why would someone want to take the live virtual course? So again, if you're someone who needs that constant supervision or you need a lot of feedback, I'm going to tie this into the last point there and say if you're on your 3rd or last attempt and your score was still below 300, you probably want to take the live virtual course because we're going to let you know what exactly you did wrong and you don't really have the choice to play around with your last attempt. Okay, so you might as well take the best option. If you're a learner who learns by asking lots of questions, having someone quiz you, then that's a really nice option too to take that live virtual course because your sessions are going to have your teacher quizzing you during the whole time. All right, so that's kind of the basics between the two. Now I'm going to open it up to questions because I know that there's probably a lot that I didn't cover that you guys do have questions on. So you guys can type them away in the chat box and let me know what your questions are. You either send them to me privately or you can send them to me to the group. Okay, so one of the questions that I'm getting here is, do you think that the manual is enough to have to pass the exam? So great question. The manual in itself is not enough to pass the exam, and I'm going to say that because I don't want you guys only memorizing the manual and then going and doing the exam. There's a lot more that's involved in passing. Okay, you need to make sure that you have an integrated knowledge of a lot of areas. So if you're someone who has a lot of background in, say, musculoskeletal, you've worked in orthopedics, that part of the manual probably is enough for you then. But if you're someone who hasn't, that's when you're going to want to make sure that as you're reading through that area, if there's something that doesn't make sense to you, that's when you would go and use your other resources. We make sure that we have multiple ways that we're giving you the material through quizzes, through mock exams, through session workbooks, through anatomy workbooks, through video recordings, through course manuals. We're giving you so much content in a very organized fashion. And so alone, the course manual isn't enough. Doing everything together as a course, yes, that should be enough. Okay, so with the video course, what is the maximum time needed to prepare for the exam? If you can put it in maximum amount of hours. So I think to kind of say your question a different way is, how long do you need to prepare for this exam? So I always struggle with this question because everyone comes to us with a different background, different knowledge level, and a different learning speed. So for the most part, I'd say students need to be studying 5 to 6 hours a day for 3 to 6 months. That's if you're in a course. If you're not in a course, you're looking for probably about 9 months to 12 months of studying, again, 5 to 6 hours a day. And of course, there's that risk that you're just not studying the right material. So to be political and not really give you a total solid answer on that, just because every student is so different, I would encourage you to make sure you're studying the right material, approximately 5 to 6 hours a day for 3 to 6 months. You're very welcome for the information. And again, if you have any questions, send us an email at info@pceexamprep.ca. Thank you.